What is going on, guys? Welcome to another video in my tutorial series for Java. Now today we're going to be talking about classes, and what a class is basically this. Think about it this way. When you want to model something on your computer, so for instance if you wanted to model a cat, you would create a class for cat and add all the attributes and behavior for this cat in its class, in the cat class, all right? Because it wouldn't make sense for some other class to know about this cat class right here. Another example, if you wanted to model a human, a person, right? You would model a person object and everything that is common to a person. So if you wanted a boy object, everything that is common to a boy. So perhaps a boy has a name, has hair, has he is able to talk, and these kind of things. All right. So basically, classes model real world objects or objects in general. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is head on over to our source here on the left side of our project. And if you don't see this right here, go ahead and click this project button right here, and this will pop up. So the next thing we want to do is right click on our source, hover over new, head over to Java class, select that, and we're going to create a cat class right here. Type in cat, hit OK. And you can see our compiler has automatically generated some code for us. We're just going to remove this. Automatically generated some code for us that says public class cat. Now all this means is we have a class called cat. Now the first thing we want to do is think of a property that is common to all cats. Now the one thing that I can think of is perhaps a name. So this is how we are going to create that name variable here or property. So I'm going to go ahead and say public string name, and that is that. Okay. So what this basically means is when I say public, anyone can access um, this variable right here, this name variable. However, is that really what I want? No, that's actually not what I want. I want only cat object or itself, everything within this cat object to be able to access its variable. So instead of public, I'm going to switch this over to private. And you'll find that this is really common when you start building Java programs and applications. You are basically going to do this almost every time, all right? This is a way of encapsulation. So you keep um, whatever is related to class in its own class, all right? You don't want other methods or other classes to access its variable because it has nothing to do with that other class, all right? Now, the next thing I want to do is perhaps create a behavior. And when I say create behavior, what I really mean is create a method that simulates a behavior. So what do cats do? So public, and okay, and this is going to be public because we actually want other people to be able to access this method right here. Okay, we actually want them to use our method. So a cat will be able to say a greet. All right, I'm going to create a greet method here, and all this is going to do is print out the following: meow. Okay, so every cat is going to be able to greet, and every cat has a name. So let's head on back over to our dog class here, and select. I'm going to select this tab right here. We jump on over to our dog class, and how do we reference this cat class we just created? Well, very easily. We create an instance of it like we have done so with so many other objects like scanners or the random class. So those are all classes that we created an instance of. So in the same idea, we're going to create a cat class right here, and we can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call this Tom, Tom and Jerry, and I'm going to create new cat right here. I'm sure you guys are familiar with this syntax right now. All this is saying is I'm going to create a new cat called Tom, and and this is how we do that. All right, with this new operator right here. Now Tom has a greet functionality here. And when I do this, what is going to happen? Now let's go ahead and run this. We should see meow on our console right here. So there we go. It meows. All right. And another thing we can do is we can even go ahead and create another instance of cat. Perhaps we'll call this danger equals new cat and danger dot greet, and we should see the exact same thing. All right. And there we go, the exact same thing. Now, this doesn't really help us a lot. Also, another thing I want you to notice is, you remember we had this variable right here, this name variable? Well, if we take a look here, since we had it as private, for instance, let's use our Tom instance right here. Tom dot name. There's no name method in or name property here. Why is that? Because it is a private method, a private property, and we are then not able to access it. All right, and like I've said before, in most scenarios, in almost all cases, you're gonna want to set this to private, and the way you would access these variables, right? Private variables is through the use of setters and getters. But for this tutorial, I'm not gonna go ahead and explain that, so I'm gonna switch this over to public. And the reason I had it private in the beginning was to show you guys the proper, quote unquote, proper syntax. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to leave it as public. Perhaps in the next few tutorials, I'm going to go into more details on why we set it private and how we can access those private variables. For now, we can go on and finally, now the name variable is available to us, and we can set it whatever we want, perhaps Tom, right there. Okay, and that is all I have for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you understand classes a little bit better. And like I said before, I'm going to create more videos on classes and explaining in more depth what a class is and how to properly use a class. Now, for now, if you like this video, please hit the like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.